Did Taehyung secretly stage this crowd? Fans accuse BTS star of orchestrating massive publicity stunt in Seoul. Was it all a carefully engineered illusion? Just 25 minutes ago, the usually bustling streets of downtown Seoul were transformed into a scene so chaotic and mesmerizing that even the most seasoned journalists could hardly believe their eyes. Thousands of fans poured into the avenues, their screams piercing the heavy summer air as BTS's enigmatic star Kim Taehyung emerged without warning. But was this an innocent moment of fan devotion, or a meticulously staged publicity stunt designed to dominate headlines and overshadow every other story in K-pop? Tonight, we ask the question that millions are afraid to voice aloud. Did Taehyung manipulate an entire city to feed an insatiable hunger for fame, or is he the unwilling victim of a spectacle beyond his control? Eyewitnesses described a surreal tableau: bodies pressed against barricades, phones raised desperately, tears streaking down cheeks as Taehyung lifted a hand in what some interpreted as a regal wave. Within seconds, hashtags exploded across every social platform, propelling his name into the global trending ranks. But behind the shrieks and selfies lurks a darker undercurrent that refuses to be silenced. A growing faction of fans and cultural critics are claiming that this was no spontaneous gathering at all. Could it be that this frenzy was premeditated, orchestrated with chilling precision to cement Taehyung's dominance as the most influential BTS member, even as the group's future hangs in precarious uncertainty? If you think this sounds too conspiratorial to be true, consider the timing. Just days ago, anonymous sources hinted that Taehyung's management team was planning an unprecedented fan engagement event to reclaim media attention after months of silence. No official schedule was ever released. No reputable news outlets received advance notice. And yet, within minutes of his appearance, the crowd had swelled beyond any reasonable expectation. How could thousands of fans have gathered in one place so quickly without advance warning? Was there a secret channel used to mobilize them? Or did Taehyung himself leak the location in coded messages to dedicated followers? For those who stood crushed in the center of the human tide, the experience was nothing short of religious. Several fans reported nearly passing out as Taehyung moved closer, his expression unreadable behind dark sunglasses. Others claimed they saw tears glistening on his cheeks, a detail that only deepens the mystery. Was he overwhelmed by genuine emotion, or did he understand all too well the power of a single tear when broadcast across millions of screens? As questions swirl around his intentions, one unsettling possibility keeps resurfacing. This moment may have been rehearsed down to the final detail. You might wonder why Taehyung would resort to such theatrics. After all, he is no stranger to global adoration. Yet insiders have quietly suggested that internal pressures within BTS have reached a boiling point, with rumors of private disputes and creative disagreements sparking speculation about an imminent fracture. Could this spectacle have been a desperate bid to reassert his place in the public imagination as a singular star, rather than a mere fragment of a fading supergroup? No official statements have been issued from HYBE labels, and other BTS members have remained conspicuously silent, fueling even wilder theories. Is the silence a show of respect, or a subtle condemnation of tactics they view as manipulative? One particularly striking account comes from a fan who traveled over 300 miles to see Taehyung up close. She claims she received an anonymous message through a private chat group instructing her to be at the intersection by 3 p.m. if you want to witness history. The message, she insists, contained no sender information and disappeared minutes after delivery. She was not alone. Dozens of similar reports have surfaced, suggesting an elaborate coordination effort that transcends any ordinary fan club alert. Who sent these messages? Was it a rogue PR manager, a shadowy marketing agency, or Taehyung himself? The answers remain elusive. Meanwhile, critics argue that the event's suddenness created dangerous conditions for those in attendance. Several minor injuries were reported as the crowd surged unpredictably, and emergency services struggled to maintain order. Could this chaos have been prevented if organizers had issued an official announcement or coordinated with local authorities? Some believe the lack of preparation was deliberate, an attempt to cultivate the illusion of an uncontrollable phenomenon. a star so magnetic that crowds materialize out of thin air. Is this the reality of modern celebrity, where safety takes a backseat to viral spectacle? Or was it an honest miscalculation by a beloved artist who underestimated the devotion he inspires? Observers are also questioning why Taehyung chose this precise moment to step into the public eye. In recent weeks, several major K-pop groups have launched comeback campaigns, saturating the news cycle with announcements and teasers. Was this unplanned encounter in Seoul engineered to eclipse his rivals' headlines and re-establish Taehyung as the undisputed face of Korean pop culture? And if so, what does it reveal about the unseen rivalries simmering beneath the polished surface of the entertainment industry? Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of this entire saga is how quickly public opinion has divided into warring camps. Some insist Taehyung is blameless, a gentle soul ensnared in a whirlwind he never intended. Others are convinced he is a master strategist who understands, better than anyone, the currency of spectacle in the age of algorithm-driven fame. Which version of Taehyung is real? Is he the sensitive artist whose vulnerability moves millions, or the calculating genius who will stop at nothing to secure his legacy? As the sun set over Seoul, Taehyung vanished into a waiting vehicle, leaving behind a scene of stunned euphoria and lingering confusion. The sidewalks were littered with discarded banners and handwritten letters. The air crackled with unresolved questions that no statement can easily dispel. Will HYBE labels ever address the swirling allegations of deliberate staging? Will Taehyung himself speak out to either confirm or deny these accusations? Or will the truth remain locked behind a carefully maintained curtain of plausible deniability? In the hours since the event, countless videos have flooded social media, dissected frame by amateur investigators searching for evidence of hidden cues, a subtle nod, a whispered phrase, a choreographed signal to the masses. Each clip raises fresh suspicions. Each angle invites new interpretations. Could it be that this entire phenomenon was nothing more than a spontaneous outpouring of affection from fans hungry for a glimpse of their idol? Or are we witnessing the most audacious publicity maneuver in K-pop history? Stay with us as we continue to unravel the tangled threads of this extraordinary story. Was this a genuine connection between artist and audience, or a manufactured frenzy designed to immortalize Taehyung as the singular force capable of commanding thousands with a single appearance? In the coming days, more voices will undoubtedly emerge, some defending him with unwavering loyalty, others demanding accountability for what they describe as reckless exploitation of fan devotion. As these revelations unfold, one question will haunt every headline and social feed. How far is too far in the pursuit of fame? But as the hours ticked by and the first wave of adrenaline began to fade, a more troubling reality began to dawn on even the most ardent supporters. How could such a meticulously documented event have erupted without any official confirmation? If this was truly spontaneous, why were there high-quality camera crews positioned at strategic vantage points, capturing every angle of Taehyung's emergence? Observers have begun circulating freeze frames of a man in a headset giving signals to several cameramen moments before Taehyung appeared. Was this a coincidence, or the smoking gun that proves a hidden production was underway behind the chaotic facade? The conversation has spread like wildfire beyond fandom circles. Prominent media personalities and cultural critics are stepping into the fray, voicing concern that this episode could mark a new low in the commodification of parasocial devotion. One radio commentator described the scene as an experiment in crowd control masquerading as an idol sighting, while a veteran entertainment columnist has gone so far as to label it the most manipulative stunt I have ever witnessed in the Korean entertainment industry. These are not accusations thrown lightly. In an industry already scrutinized for exploiting emotional bonds between artists and their followers, this event has become a lightning rod for every fear and suspicion about how far agencies will go to keep their artists in the spotlight. Meanwhile, social media continues to seethe with contradictory narratives. Some fans angrily insist that critics are tarnishing a sacred memory, one of the most electrifying moments of their lives. Others are demanding full transparency from HYBE labels, questioning whether their loyalty has been exploited to manufacture a headline-grabbing spectacle. The atmosphere is thick with betrayal and disbelief. For every post celebrating Taehyung's presence, there is another warning that blind devotion has a price few are willing to acknowledge. Consider the testimony of Minji, a college student who claims she received text messages from 3 separate fan networks urging her to travel to the city center on the morning of the appearance. She has shown screenshots of these messages, but the accounts that sent them have all been deleted. In one message, the sender hints that Taehyung needs your support more than ever. Come witness history unfold. Is this the language of spontaneous excitement, or the subtle coercion of a fan base that has been conditioned to believe participation equals love? How many others were summoned by these ephemeral calls to action, their presence now transformed into social currency for a narrative none of them fully understood. The silence from other BTS members has only intensified the speculation. Fans have scoured their Instagram accounts, hoping for even a single word of acknowledgement or solidarity. Instead, the members have maintained an eerie quiet, posting nothing and saying less. Some interpret this as a tactful avoidance of drama. Others see it as the clearest sign yet that they, too, are disturbed by the machinations behind the spectacle. When a reporter pressed a HYB spokesperson for comment, the response was a curt refusal. "We have no statement regarding individual schedules." Such deflections only fuel the sense that something was hidden in plain sight, something no one in power is prepared to explain. Even more perplexing are reports that security personnel were not standard agency staff, but a mix of private contractors whose uniforms bore no recognizable insignia. Some witnesses described feeling an unsettling sense of choreography, as if every movement of the crowd was subtly directed by unseen hands. If Taehyung's sudden appearance was not staged, why would such elaborate security measures be in place without any advance notice? Was this truly an attempt to protect him, or to manage optics for maximum emotional impact? Theories abound. Some claim the event was timed to deflect attention from ongoing disputes between BTS members over creative control and revenue sharing, rumors that have dogged the group for months despite fervent denials. Others suggest Taehyung has grown impatient with the constraints of collective identity and engineered this moment to declare independence. Still others believe the event was designed to test fan mobilization capacity ahead of an impending solo project launch. No matter which version you believe, the unavoidable fact remains. This single afternoon in Seoul has fractured a once united fandom into warring tribes of believers and skeptics eyeing the days ahead. Many are predicting a reckoning for how K-pop agencies treat the very people whose devotion funds their billion-dollar empires. Already, hashtags demanding accountability are trending alongside those professing undying love. Some fans have announced boycotts of official merchandise until HYB clarifies whether they were used as pawns in a carefully plotted media spectacle. Others have declared their willingness to forgive everything, insisting that even if this was staged, Taehyung's presence was worth every risk. As the debate rages, it is impossible to ignore the psychological toll such events inflict on the fans themselves. One young woman described weeping uncontrollably in the aftermath, unsure whether her tears were born of joy, betrayal, or the dawning realization that her cherished connection to an idol may have been skillfully manufactured. She is not alone. Across thousands of accounts, a common refrain emerges: the unsettling question of whether their love has been commodified into little more than a tool to feed an unquenchable hunger for relevance. Meanwhile, Taehyung remains silent. His official channels have issued no clarifications, no expressions of gratitude or regret. Instead, the narrative has been left to metastasize across a digital landscape where every scrap of information is parsed for hidden meaning. Did he plan this? Did he know it would unfold exactly as it did? Or was he, too, a performer in a drama orchestrated by unseen forces? Until he speaks, the truth will remain a tantalizing mystery, one that threatens to redefine not only Taehyung's legacy, but the very ethics of modern fandom itself. Stay with us, because this story isn't over.